What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. This your boy Jay Reed for Jay Reed's Love of Cars. So if you are in the market for a C6 Corvette, you will want to watch this video before you buy one. Okay, so you're finally going to get that C6 Corvette. Now, as you know, these cars are getting kind of old. They're getting kind of old, but there's some good things about that, and there's some bad things about that too. There's also a few things that you want to look out for when considering purchasing one, and we're going to talk through some of those on this video. So let's break it down. Number one, let's start out with the good part. As I just said, these C6 Corvettes are kind of getting kind of old now. 2005, 2007, 2008, whatever. They're getting kind of old now. So most of the things that are going to go wrong with them probably went wrong with the previous owner. So all of that stuff will be fixed. Hopefully. If you have a garage queen, person never really drove it, there's a good and a bad side to that. 9 times out of 10, they may not have experienced some of the things that I'm going to talk to you about, but at the same time, it's a low mileage car. So, you know, 6 in one hand, half a dozen in the other type shit. Anyway, I'm gonna give you a perfect example of what I'm talking about. If you're in the market for like a 2008, 2007, whatever, Z06. Everybody wants a Z06 because they are a ton of fun. But you know that those are inherently susceptible to dropping a valve. So the first thing that anyone does or should do when they get a Z06 is get the heads get new heads or get the heads fixed. So what I mean by fixed, they'll drop a valve. Some places, performance shops, will rework the head, you know, port and polish, fix the exhaust valves and whatnot, and send you on your way. Or some people would just opt to buy brand new heads, aftermarket heads, AFR, whatever, trick flow, whatever. Either way, if you have an older model Z06, or really just a Z06 period, it's a C6 Z06 period. If you have owned that car, 9 times out of 10, you know about the head problem. So when you're in the market to buy one of the first questions that you want to ask is, have you fixed the heads? I would just put it just like that, because if they say, I don't know what you mean by fix them, then you already got your answer. No matter what they say after that, you already know that it's probably a lie if they tell you that they've got them fixed, because it's like saying, do your car come with wheels? You know what I'm saying? It's gonna come with some wheels regardless. So you really wanna look out for that when it comes to the C6Z. Have the heads been worked, fixed, replaced, whatever it is? And a lot of times you kind of can check that out yourself, because most aftermarket heads will have the name on the end of the head, so you can take a look yourself. Some of them you won't. It may be a stock head and they just have the exhaust valves replaced, so forth and so hence. But either way it go, that's something that you definitely want to ask, because that could cost you thousands of dollars if you do not ask that question or find out or even get them fixed, if you know that the car that you're buying do not have heads. So if the heads haven't been fixed, you may as well add that to your budget, because you need to get that done ASAP. You buy the car and then you take it to the shop and get them heads fixed. I mean, I don't know how else to put it. It's either that or be prepared to throw away some money on a whole new engine. And maybe that's what you want to do. Maybe you want to look, maybe that'll be an excuse. Anyway, I digress. Another couple of things that you want to look at. Everybody, when you get your car, when you go to see the C6 Corvette, take the key fob. Take the key fob from them. Make sure that you can open all of the doors with that key fob. Next, take the key fob, press the trunk button. Make sure that key fob opens the trunk. Now you probably say, why would you do that? Here's why. Because those key fobs go bad. They go bad. And what most people will do will go on Amazon and buy them for like 20 bucks, 25 bucks, a couple of them, because they do work. But a lot of times on those cheap ones, not the GM ones, the trunk button may not work. So if that trunk button doesn't work, then you know that this person went on Amazon, got a key fob, and now you don't know how to program the trunk. The doors will work fine, it'll start fine, but you can't get into the trunk because it did not work when they programmed it with the Amazon key fob. That's something you want to look out for. Next thing, if you look at having automatic or whatnot, you want to ask them, have you ever had to replace the shifter cable? If they say no, get ready, because that shifter cable is going to break, or the little plastic piece is going to break, and you're going to be stranded at some point. It's not really if, it's when. So ask them if that's been replaced. And if they know what you're talking about, then they already know. You can easily tell if somebody's lying. If you don't say exactly what it is, play dumb. Yeah, have you shifted the cable? If you got stuck, you know, have the heads been done? Because those are things that are probably going to happen 9 times out of 10. So just by being as general as possible, a Corvette owner that has replaced those things will know exactly what you're talking about. Someone that hasn't, they're gonna look at you crazy, probably lying. I just feel like it'll be easier to figure it out if you ask stuff general like you don't know what you're talking about, but you do, because people will try to get one over on you. Number 2, look down in front of that engine and see if the harmonic balancer has been replaced. You can kind of tell that because you have the stock one. You don't even have to see it have the engine come on or not. You can just look at it, because here's what most people would do if they replace that harmonic balancer. They're going to put an aftermarket balancer on there. It's just a given. Why would you put a stock balancer back on it? Nobody does that. An aftermarket balancer, which will be different, visibly different than a stock one, and you will more than likely see that it has an ARP bolt, crank bolt in it, because you're going to want an ARP bolt. Because most people, once they replace that balancer, they're going to get an ARP bolt and stick in there. So you can easily tell that from that stock bolt. So that's something you want to look at too. Pretty much the things that I'm telling you in this video is some of the stuff that you probably can, you know, you can Google, you can find it or whatever. But sometimes it's how you ask people this stuff and how things that, regardless of what they're telling you, you can look and see for yourself if you notice these few things. So anyway, you want to make sure that the key fobs work. You want to make sure that the doors work, because sometimes the driver's door may work, but the passenger may not work. It may not be the key fob. It may be the door pad, or it may be the hatch, the latch, not the hatch. You want to make sure all of it, that this stuff works, because this is stuff that goes out. These are common issues. So if they haven't been replaced, you know, you want to take that in consideration to when you buy one, because you may end up having to replace it. Look at the radiators. Is it a stock radiator? Make sure when you test driving and get it up to temp. You know, sometimes people, who knows what they've done to it. They got headers on there. They had a tune. Look for check engine lights. This is stuff that's obvious. But what I would also advise is bring your own O2 tester thingy like this. You can get these off Amazon. It plugs into the OBD2 port. You can get them off Amazon, turn the car on, plug it in, scan for codes. Because sometimes the check engine light may be cleared, but that code's still gonna be in there. You can clear them lights and not drive it, and that light won't come back on until you get some miles on it. You can clear it, but them codes are going to be in there for the most part, unless they clear them too. If you got somebody that savvy, then that's terrible. But anyway, get you one of these, hook it up, test it for any codes, because you may not have a light. The light may come on when you go down the road or when you accelerate or at a certain RPM, but the code will be there, because you want to check if there's any codes, because you're probably gonna want to get those fixed too. You don't want any issues that, or it's really going to cost you a whole bunch of money. Now, another thing to look out for too, if they turn that car on and you hear some clunking, it sounds like it's coming from underneath the car, and they're like, oh yeah, my muffler bolt is loose. The odds of that muffler bolt being loose and somebody's trying to sell something and that's an easy fix to avoid questions is very low. Probably what you're hearing is the torque tube. Torque tube probably will need to be rebuilt. So you want to listen for a knocking noise or anything like that. Hell, it may even be a good job to take a stethoscope with you as well. It depends on how serious you are. If you hear some knocking and some noise, get up under there, put that mechanic stethoscope on and see if it's the cats. Maybe the cats are blown out. Who knows? Maybe it is the torque tube. Maybe it's flywheel bolts. You don't know what it is, but I can tell you it's gonna cost you either way it goes. So you just don't want those type of issues. Some of this stuff, you know, who's gonna go do all of that? Well, if you don't want to waste your money, you may want to do it, because repairs on these cars are not cheap. They are not cheap at all, especially when it's a big ticket item that you will have to have fixed or have to have replaced. You don't want to mess that up. And then of course you got your normal stuff. Look at the plugs, look at the wires. Make sure, I would maybe even pull a plug or two and make sure that they're running the same plugs throughout the car. My homeboy had just bought a car. One side had one type of plug, the other side had a different type of plug. So he ended up changing out the wires on that and also putting new plugs in it. Didn't affect how the car ran, but that can kind of tell you how it's been taken care of to a certain extent. But You know, depending on how much you're paying for the car, the kind of deal you got, you know, some things you just know you're gonna have to put a budget into to get it to where it should be. But if you can do that and the budget falls within a certain amount and you're not in the hole, then, you know, it still may be a good car for you to buy, if that makes any sense. Then of course you want to look at the tires, look at the brakes. None of those are cheap on these particular cars. They're not cheap, especially if you got a big brakes, like come on a Z01, Z06 or Grand Sport, or a what is it, E51? Do they come with them? I don't know, can't call it. But you want to check out the brakes, just the normal stuff like that. You may say, okay, great, I can replace the brakes myself. That's fine, but you also got to replace the pins. Those pins are like $119. So you got the brakes on top of the pins. And if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. I won't get up and show them, but just know that those pins have to be replaced too. So take all of this stuff into consideration when you buying a C6 Corvette. They're getting kind of old. Some of this stuff can really sneak up on you. And that doesn't mean that it was broken necessarily when the owner had it. It could break right after you buy it. You just don't know. So these are questions that you want to ask, so you won't end up in a money pit of boo-boo C6. This your boy. Like, comment, and subscribe.